Make a word to match the picture. Mole. B. Oops. R. O. Oops. 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 B. Oops. O. 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 Mole. Robe. B. R. Oops. B. R. O. B. Robe. Bone. Mm. B. O. Oops. B. O. Bone. Nose. Oops. B. R. Oops. O. O. Nose. Fabulous. You know. Bone. Mole. Nose. Robe. Bone. Mole. Nose. Robe. Make a word to match the picture. Bike. Oops. B. Oops. T. Oops. D. B. I. Bike. 5. D. I. 5. Kite. Oops. Oops. D. Oops. T. I. T. Kite. Hide. Oops. Oops. B. Oops. Oops. D. I. D. Hide. All right. You know. Bike. 5. Hide. Kite. Bike. 5. Hide. Kite. Make a word to match the picture. Card. D. Try again. Not that one. Not that one. D. R. card, farm. Try again. Try again. Try again. Not that one. Oops. R. Farm. Park. Oops. Oops. R. Park. Harp. Oops. Try again. Oops. Try again. Not that one. Oops. Not that one. R. Harp. Awesome! You know. Card. Farm. Harp. Park. Farm. Harp. Make a word to match the picture. Horn. Horn. Try again. Try again. Or. Horn. Fork. Fork. Try again. Try again. Try again. Or. Fork. Fort. Fort. Oops. Try again. Or. Fort. Corn. Not that one. Oops. Not that one. Or. Corn. Awesome! You know. Corn. Fork. Fort. Horn. Corn. Fork. Fort. Horn. Picture hunt. Or. Horse. Click. On. The. Big. Or. Horse. Or. Horse. Or. Fork. Or. Fork. Corn. Unicorn. Corn. Unicorn. Little. Corn. Unicorn. or, horn. Or, horn. Man. With, a. Or, horn. Rain. St, or, storm. St, or, storm. Can, you. Find, a. Little. Or, fort. Or, fort. Or, score. Or, score. All right. Make a word with a, an to match the picture. Can. Oops. An, can. Fan. An, fan. Pan. Oops. An, pan. Ran. An, ran. Good job. You know. Can, fan, pan, ran. An, can, fan, pan, ran. Make a word with at, at, to match the picture. Rat. B. Oops. At, rat. Hat. B. At, hat. Cat. At, cat. Bat. B, b, at, bat. All right. You know bat, cat, hat, rat, at, bat, cat, hat, rat. Make a word with n to match the picture. Hen. Oops. N. Hen. Men. Oops. T. N. Men. 10. Oops. T. T. N. 10. Pen. N. Pen. Awesome! You know hen, men, pen, 10, pen, men, hen, n. Make a word with t, et to match the picture. Pet. W. J. Et. Pet. Jet. Oops. Oops. J. Et. Jet. Net. Net. W. J. Oops. Et. Net. Wet. Oops. Oops. Et. Wet. Groovy. You know jet, net, pet, wet.
How the alphabet got its order. Long ago in Alphaville, all the letters were having a lot of fun. But the letters weren't very well organized.
Her Royal Majesty, Queen Emphasis.
Letters. Let's find an order. Please, line up and say your names.
A,
B, C,
D, E,
F, G,
H, R,
J,
K,
L,
M,
N, O,
B,
Q,
R, S, D,
U,
V,
W,
X, Y,
and
Z. Thank you, A and B, for lining up so quickly. We shall call this letter order the alphabet to honor you both.
The Queen's new alphabetical order was followed all over Alphaville and is still obeyed today.
Did you like this movie? Yes. Thank you.
How many leaves are there to feed this panda? Three, two, one.
0. Elephant.
How many hay bales will feed this elephant? Four, three, two, one.
0. Turtles walk slow.
How many apples are there to feed this turtle? Three, two, one.
0.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the snack, for the snack. Each and every biteful was ever so delightful. Please come back, please come back.
Make a match to count by 2.
2. 4. 6. 8. 10. 12. 14. 16. 18. 20. 2. 4. 6. 8. 10. 12. 14. 16. 18. 20.
Wow! We made it up to 20.
18. 16. 14. 12. 10. 8. 6. 4. 2. 0.
We just counted by 2s. Well done!
Help Coin Monkey find coins. You found a penny. Great! You found another penny. Let's make a nickel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cents. Nickel! A nickel is worth 5 cents. A nickel is worth 5 cents. Let's make a dime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cents. Dime! A dime is worth 10 cents. A dime is worth 10 cents. Let's make a quarter. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 cents. Quarter! A quarter is worth 25 cents. A quarter is worth 25 cents. 25 cents, please. Awesome!
It's time to play. Blackberries.
4 is less than 5. Less than.
Peaches.
2 is greater than 1. Greater than. 2 is greater than 1. Greater than.
I like cherries.
1 is equal to 1. 1 is equal to 1. 1 is equal to 1.
I love smoothies. Super cool.
Place cookies in the tray to count up. Take cookies out of the tray to count down. 1. You added 1. Now there are 2 cookies. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Now it's 9 cookies. 10. Nine. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. 0.
Wahoo!
Well done. Dime, dime, thin and small. I know you're worth 10 in all. Quarter, quarter, big and bold. You're worth 25, I'm told. Nickel, nickel, thick and fat. You're worth 5 cents, I know that. Penny, penny, easily spent. Copper brown and worth 1 cent. A penny is worth 1 cent. A quarter is worth 25 cents. A dime is worth 10 cents. A nickel is worth 5 cents. $0.10. $0.25. $0.06. $0.03. Shiny coins all in a row. Look at all the coins you know. $10, $11, $12, $13, $14, $15, $16, $17, $18, $19, $20.
All aboard!
$40, $41, $42, $43, $44, $45, $46, $47, $48, $49, $50.
All aboard!
$90, $91, $92, $93, $94, $95, $96, $97, $98, $99, $100. $90, $91,
92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100.
All aboard! Ten, nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Blast off!
Ten balloons. 9 balloons. 8 balloons. 7 balloons. 6 balloons. 5 balloons. 4 balloons. 3 balloons. 2 balloons. 1 balloon. 0 balloons.
0.
If I had 10 apples and gave them all away, I would then have 0 apples today. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now I have no more. 0, 0, 0, 0 apples today. 0, 0, 0 apples. I gave them all away. We each have an apple we can buy. Once we eat all our apples, there'll be 0 apples inside. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now there are no more. 0, 0, 0, 0 apples we say. 0, 0, 0 apples, we ate them all today.
Zero. Goodbye.
The Cobbler and the Elves, as told by Brandy Chase. Illustrated by Aaron Vaganos. Not so long ago, a cobbler lived with his wife above their shoe shop. Even though this cobbler was a hard-working fellow, he did not sell very many shoes. People were buying factory-made shoes instead of handmade ones. One night, The cobbler sat down at his bench to cut shoes from his last scrap of leather. When he finished cutting, he took off his glasses, rubbed his eyes, and then said to his wife, "I'm too tired to finish these shoes tonight." His wife said, "Rest now. Tomorrow you will turn this leather into a fine pair of shoes and sell them too." The cobbler winked a weary eye at his wife and said, "All we can do now is hope for the best." He left the unfinished shoes on his workbench and went to bed. The next day, the cobbler woke bright and early, ready to work. To his surprise, he found perfectly finished shoes in place of the leather he had left the night before. Astonished, the cobbler and his wife looked around the room. Apart from the shoes, there was no sign anyone had been there at all. The shoes sold straight away for much more than the cobbler expected. He now had enough money to buy leather to make 2 more pairs of shoes. That night the cobbler cut the leather before bed, planning to finish the shoes the next day. This time he woke to discover 2 pairs of perfectly finished shoes. Again, they sold for more than expected. The cobbler was able to purchase enough leather for 4 more pairs of shoes. And so it went for some time. Every night the cobbler cut the leather. Every morning he woke to discover perfectly finished shoes. Every day the shoes sold for more than expected. Every day he was able to buy more leather. The cobbler and his wife soon sold enough shoes to live without worry. One evening the cobbler's wife said, "Our lives are much better now. I wonder who has been helping us all this time." The cobbler winked a cheery eye at his wife and said, "I don't know about you, but I'm not the slightest bit sleepy. Let's wait up and see what happens." The cobbler and his wife crept down the stairs, blew out their candle, and waited. At midnight, 2 tiny elves, dressed only in rags, came in through a crack in the window. The elves went straight to work, stitching and wrapping and tapping, zip-zoom fast. When the shoes were finished, the elves frolicked and pranced in a circle, chanting, "We 2 cobblers work late at night, still every stitch is stitched just right." Then they scampered out again. "My goodness," said the cobbler with gratitude. "What can we do to thank them?" The next day, the cobbler's wife made the elves clothes from brightly colored cloth with neat little stitches and pretty buttons. The cobbler made them smart shoes with long pointed toes. That night, the cobbler and his wife laid out the gifts, then waited as before to see what would happen. The elves arrived at midnight. At first they were astonished to find the clothes and shoes instead of leather, but soon laughed with joy. They put on the gifts, then frolicked and pranced in a circle, chanting, "We were cobblers, yes, it's true, but now our cobbling days are through." Then they scampered out through the window. The cobbler and his wife never saw the elves again, but thanks to their help lived a long, happy life free of worry.
Stone Soup. As told by Brandy Chase. Illustrated by Annette Fry. One day, a kindly traveler came upon a cold and lonely village. He carried only a knapsack filled with kindling and an empty iron pot. The village seemed an unfriendly place. The streets were empty, and every window and door was locked. The traveler was tired. He was hungry, too. He walked to a house and knocked on the door. He thought he heard someone move inside. He thought he saw a curtain move, but no one answered. The traveler did not give up. He walked to another house and knocked. This time, a woman and 3 small children came to the door. "Hello," said the traveler. "I am looking for a place to rest my head and a bite to eat. Can you help me?" "No," said the woman. "We have not had any food for days. My own children are hungry. You should go on to the next village." The traveler smiled and said, My, you are in worse shape than I am. Not to worry, I will happily share my stone soup with you. All we need is water from my pot and a fire." The children gathered water and wood. The traveler used his kindling to start the fire. Soon they had a cheery fire and the water in the pot began to boil. The traveler pulled 3 smooth stones from his pocket and dropped them, plop, 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 into the pot. The woman could not believe her eyes. "A soup from stones?" she asked. "Yes," said the traveler. "It is quite delicious, although it would be a bit tastier with salt and herbs." "Oh," said the woman, "I may have some salt and herbs in my kitchen." As the woman added herbs and salt to the pot, the door of her neighbor's house opened. A man and his young son came out. "What are you doing?" asked the son. "We're making stone soup," answered the traveler. "A soup from stones?" asked the father. "Yes," said the traveler. "It is quite delicious, although it would be a bit tastier with a few vegetables." "Daddy," said the son, "I think we have some carrots and potatoes under the stairs." The man and his son added carrots and potatoes to the pot. The smell of the stone soup lifted into the air. A window opened, and an elderly woman called down to her neighbors. "What are you doing there?" "We're making stone soup," they replied. "A soup from stones?" asked the elderly woman. "Yes," said the traveler. "It is quite delicious, although it would be a bit tastier with a little meat." "You don't say," said the elderly woman. "Well, I happen to have some." One by one, the villagers opened their doors. Each brought a little something to add to the stone soup. When the pot was full, villagers offered bread, butter, and other goodies. One villager even shared his homemade apple cider. The traveler exclaimed, "This will be a meal fit for a king!" The villagers and the traveler sat together and enjoyed a delicious meal made from stones. Their tummies full of food and their hearts full of joy, they declared to one another, "Who would have imagined such a meal? The stones must be magic." The traveler answered, No, there is no magic in these stones. Each of us shared just a little, and together we have made a feast." When the meal was over and all of the dishes were done, the traveler filled his knapsack with kindling and collected his pot and stones. At dawn, the traveler continued on his way. The villagers waved and shouted their thanks until he was out of sight. "What shall we eat today?" they asked one another. A child held up a stone and said, "I have an idea. Let's make stone soup."
Backpack Bear Learns the Rules by Chase Tunbridge. Illustrated by Dale Beisel. When Backpack Bear first arrived on the first day of school, he was very nervous. He was so nervous, in fact, that he hid. He worried that the children wouldn't like having a bear in their class. His teacher, Mrs. Elliott, noticed he was missing. Mrs. Elliott asked all the children to look around the classroom to see if they could find Backpack Bear. When the children found his hiding spot, one of them said, "Welcome to our class." Another said, "You can sit by me." And another said, "I'm so happy that you are a bear." That made Backpack Bear feel much, much better. Mrs. Elliott said, "Tick-tock, it's 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, we play games. I will roll this ball. If you catch it, say your name, then roll the ball to a new person so they can say their name. Remember this rule, only say your name when you catch the ball." Backpack Bear really wanted Mrs. Elliott to roll the ball to him first, but she rolled it to Shane instead. Before Shane could say his name, Backpack Bear shouted, "Backpack Bear! My name is Backpack Bear!" Mrs. Elliott said, "It is nice to meet you, Backpack Bear, but it is not your turn to say your name." "When will it be my turn?" he asked. Mrs. Elliott said, "I have a hint. The answer is also the rule for this game." Backpack Bear thought really hard. "It's my turn to say my name when I catch the ball?" "Perfect," said Mrs. Elliott. "When we wait for our turn to speak, we can listen to others." Backpack Bear was sorry for not waiting and said so. Mrs. Elliott said, "It's okay. Making mistakes is part of learning." After everyone had a chance to say their names, Mrs. Elliott said, "Wow, you really do know how to play by the rules." Then she dropped the ball into the toy box. It is everyone's job to clean up after themselves when they finish doing something, but you will also each have a special job of your own. Mrs. Elliott showed the children their class job chart. Everyone in the class did have a special job. Backpack Bear was very happy because it was his job to be the gardener. But he noticed that Jackie looked sad. He whispered, "What's wrong, Jackie?" "I wanted to be the gardener," she whispered back. Mrs. Elliott said, "Now that you know your jobs, I will answer the questions of children and bears who raise their hands or paws." Backpack Bear raised his paw. "Can I trade jobs with Jackie? She wants to be the gardener." Mrs. Elliott said, "It is nice of you to think of Jackie's feelings. You are the gardener this week. Jackie can be the gardener next week." Jackie smiled. Mrs. Elliott said, "Tick-tock, it's 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, we go to the computer lab. Where are our line leader and door opener?" Shane yelled, "I'm the line leader." Jackie shouted, "I'm the door opener, I'll race you." Backpack Bear cried, "I can't wait to learn about computers." Mrs. Elliott said, "Before we go, I have 2 rules to teach you. The first rule is walk when you are indoors. The second rule is speak softly. Who can tell me why the first rule is important?" Jackie raised her hand. "Because if we run, we might fall down and get hurt?" "That is a very good reason," said Mrs. Elliott. "What about the second rule?" Shy little Leslie raised her hand. "We should speak softly so other children can hear their teachers." Backpack Bear thought about it and he decided they were right. The children walked to the computer lab. Shane and Backpack Bear spoke very softly. Backpack Bear had heard about computers, but he had never used one before. He had a lot of questions. "I have a computer at my house," said Shane. "I can show you how they work." Backpack Bear and Shane shared a computer. Shane used the mouse the most because he was showing Backpack Bear how to use it. Backpack Bear really wanted to use the mouse the most. It was hard for him to wait his turn and to listen, but he did it. Mrs. Elliot said, "Tick-tock, it's 11 o'clock. Computer lab time is over. Our time is about to begin." The children hung up their headsets, pushed in their chairs, and then lined up behind Shane. When Jackie opened the door, they walked quietly back to their classroom. Backpack Bear didn't want to paint. He wanted to find out more about computers instead. "What are you doing, Backpack Bear?" asked Mrs. Elliot. "I'm looking for a book about computers," he said. Mrs. Elliot smiled. "You're very clever to look for a book when you want to know more about something. But right now, we are painting." Leslie painted clouds and a big yellow sun. Shane painted 6 slithering snakes. Jackie painted a bright red flower. Backpack Bear painted a computer because he was still thinking about how much he liked using one. Shane, Jackie, and Backpack Bear left their paints and brushes and went to the bookshelf to find a story. That's when Backpack Bear remembered. "Shane and Jackie," he said, "we should go back and clean up our paints and things now that we are finished using them." Shane and Jackie were sorry for forgetting and said so. "That's okay," said Backpack Bear, "because making mistakes is part of learning." First, the children worked together to clean up their paints and brushes. Then Backpack Bear watered the plants. Shane, Jackie, and Backpack Bear left their paints and brushes and went. Shane, Jackie, and Backpack Bear left their paints and brushes and went to the bookshelf to find a story. That's when Backpack Bear remembered. "Shane and Jackie," he said, "we should go back and clean up our paints and things now that we are finished using them." Shane and Jackie were sorry for forgetting and said so. "That's okay," said Backpack Bear, "because making mistakes is part of learning." First, the children worked together to clean up their paints and brushes. Then Backpack Bear watered the plants.
The Three Little Pigs. As told by Brandy Chase, illustrated by Triska Wasser. Once upon a time, there were 3 piglet siblings, 2 brothers and 1 sister. When they were grown, their parents gave them each a little money and sent them off to build homes of their own. Along the way, the siblings met a straw salesman. Said the first little pig, "Straw is very inexpensive. If I build my house from straw, it will be quick work. I will have lots of money left over and be able to play all day long." His siblings asked, "Are you sure that is a good idea? A straw house will not last long." The first pig replied, "When this house falls apart, it will be a snap to make another, and just as cheap. So the first pig made a house of straw, and his siblings continued on their way. The siblings met a man carrying sticks. Said the second little pig, "Sticks are more expensive than straw, but the house will still be easy to build. I'll have some money left over and most of the day to play." Her brother said, "True, a stick house is a better idea than a straw house, but it will often need repairs." The second pig replied, "When this house needs fixing, I will gather sticks off the ground." So the second pig set to work making a house of sticks, and her brother continued on his way. The third little pig met a woman selling bricks. Said the third little pig, "I would like to build a brick house. Is it easy to do?" The brick maker said, "Bricks are very expensive. It will take you many days and hard work to build your house. But when you are done, you will have a sturdy house that will last your whole life long." The third pig replied, "That sounds like a very good idea." So the third pig set to work making a house of bricks. Not long after, a big, toothy wolf knocked on the door of the straw house. Said the wolf, little pig, let me come in." Said pig one, "Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin." The wolf did not like this one bit, so he stomped his foot and yelled, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house in. The first little pig ran away to his sister's house of sticks. The big, toothy wolf followed the piggy brother to the stick house. He knocked on the door and said, little pigs, let me come in." Said pigs 1 and 2, "Not by the hairs on our chinny chin chins." The wolf did not like this one bit, so he shook his fist and yelled, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house in. The first and second little pigs ran away to their brother's house of bricks. The big, toothy wolf followed the pigs to the brick house. He knocked on the door and said, little pigs, let me come in." Said pigs 1, 2, and 3, "Not by the hairs on our chinny chin chins." The wolf did not like this one bit, so he jumped up and down and yelled, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, but he could not blow the brick house down. The wolf had huffed and puffed and could huff and puff no more. He sat down under a nearby tree to rest. Inside the brick house, the 3 little pigs put their heads together and came up with a plan. "Yes," said the 3, "we have a very good idea." The big toothy wolf was about to try again, but before he could say a word, the door opened. The 3 little pigs stood in the doorway. Said the third little pig, "What do you want exactly?" Said the wolf, "Well, I want to come in. I don't have any friends, and I'm lonely." The siblings looked at each other. They never expected to hear such a thing from the wolf. The first pig said, It's no wonder you don't have any friends. You have very bad manners. The three little pigs did not let the wolf in that day. The big toothy wolf learned to ask politely before coming to visit. He gave up stomping, yelling, shaking his fists, jumping up and down, and huffing and puffing to get his way. It never really worked anyway. Eventually, the wolf and the three little pigs became friends. You see, just like a brick house, good friendships take time to build. Once you do, they're sure to last a lifetime.